Hello, and we're back in Premiere Pro Video Editing. So I want to give you a little bit more information on that. So I'm just going to hide myself. Can't hide myself. So I close myself. Close. Alright, so make this full screen again. The full screen as you can get because you need all this space. Okay, so I imported in under File, Import, some videos that I found that I had been working with last year and never did anything with. And I used a GoPro camera, which is a waterproof, tiny camera, has no LCD screen, so you really don't know what you got until you start working with it. So this is the first frame, so you actually have to look at it to figure out whether it's actually working, and that's why some of it, yeah, that's cute. So here we are. That's when I had my leaf. And there's my stepdaughter with her skateboard. So we attached the GoPro to the skateboard so we could get some footage. Unfortunately, it had to be upside down to get that. So what happens when you have upside down footage? Oh, well, you're going to have to turn it right side up. But you're not going to turn it right side up here in the slug. You're going to drag that onto the timeline so you can edit it there. Whoa. So I've just put that in a random place. I want to bring it all the way over to the beginning. And I just zoom in and out this way. And it zooms into the center of where your scrub bar is. So I'm going to move the scrub bar over to the beginning. And we're going to flip that upside down first and foremost so we can see what's going on. So first I double click on the video that's on the timeline so that over here we can make the controls happen. So we're going to drop down the motion, and of course we have the position and the scale. The scale looks fine to me, but the rotation is what we want to change. So I can, because I already know exactly how much rotation I need 180 degrees. So I can hit 180 and return, and there it is, right side up. And it will continue to play right side up. Now, she doesn't always have it right side up. Yeah, so I want to start off maybe where we can see her, and I don't want any of that beginning there. So if I want it to start here, there's a couple different ways I can do it, and neither way is wrong, but like we drag the image to make it longer, we can drag this video to make it shorter. Now to do that, you want to see that cursor change and scooch it this way so it hits right along where I wanted it to start, and it usually will snap to that. So now we can play by hitting the space bar. You can play, toggle play to start and stop. Of course, this has no good audio, so we definitely don't want to use the crummy audio that's there. So I'm not looking for audio or listening for audio. I want to see, basically what this is, which is basically her skateboarding over and over again. And then the camera drops right there. I remember she told me it dropped a couple times. So if we see anything interesting, notice that the areas around here are kind of blown out. We know that she's wearing black, but it looks very, very faded and pale, so we might have to adjust that in color correction in a little bit. So just clicking through, I like the what's happening is a little flare, light flare from the sun as she goes past there. So I kind of like that. And it starts about right here. So I like that section. The rest of it is okay, and I like the beginning section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it up a little bit. So I'm going to leave my timeline scrub bar right there, and I'm going to go up here to my toolbar, which so far we haven't even visited yet, and look for the razor tool, and it looks like a razor blade. And I'm going to click on that, and I have a razor tool, and you can see there's a little dotted line that goes next to the razor tool. That's exactly where it's going to cut, and it will cut your video into more than one piece there. So you can chop up long pieces of video, and it hasn't deleted anything yet, so I want to go back to the beginning, and I like it up to about right there. So I'm going to use my razor tool again and get right on that timeline scrub bar and go back to my selection tool and select nothing, and then I want to deselect, or I'm sorry, select this middle section and just delete it. Hit the delete button on your keyboard. So another way to do that, I'm going to hit Command Z to undo. If you hit the DEL key, and not everybody has this on their keyboard, but it's under the help button. If you hit that key, just kidding, did not work. Oh no, hit the wrong button. Oh, I don't have it selected, that's why. It didn't work then either. So never mind on that. So we either have a long space of just nothing, or we can move this to sit next to it, or we could put something in between there. So for now, I'm just going to put them right there because I want to get more clips in. I'm going to double click on the next one, which is another upside down one. Another day we were outside with the skateboard, and we don't want any of that. I know that I don't want to start for a little while, so I'm going to find where I want to start. Here. So to avoid having to edit down here, I can put my set point in exactly where that is. The set point in is right here on your controls. Click on that and notice that it lightens the area that's basically selected. And you can also set a point out. So see, it quickly goes to like weird. I don't need that. If I want to go little by little, I can use this jog dial. It looks like it's supposed to be a dial. And I want to end it right there. So it's very short. So I'm going to set the out point there. So I just have a tiny bit of video selected, and I can click right in the video and drag it down. So you can see I didn't get very much video at all here. And if we hit play, that's exactly how much it is. Oops, I hit the keyboard or the space bar. So that's not very much video, but it's a lot more than you thought it was, right? So the only issue of doing it this way is if you have to continually resize it or flip it upside down like we're going to have to do here. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit on the timeline, double click on it, effect controls, drop down motion, and change the rotation to 180 so it's right side up. So we can see it's all right side up now. I want a little bit more than that because it ends right on that spot. I like that spot, but you don't really see it because it's gone. So I just stretched it out a little bit, so it's adding a little bit more of the video there to it. So I'll drag this. If I drag it right over top of this video and let go, it's actually going to insert that into the middle of that. I don't want to do that. I'm going to Command Z. I'm going to zoom out some more so I can actually drag it to be over here. And I'm going to go back and double click on this. It still has that area selected. There's so much more video to go through. This is almost 9 minutes of video. So I'm going to keep looking through and see, go back a little bit, what's interesting. So I might start it here. I might even hit play. And there's something. I'm going to drag that down after I set my out point. Double click on it. Effect controls. Let me make sure my scrub bar is on it so I can see what's going on. Drop down motion. Rotation 180. So it goes from that to that, maybe to this again. Maybe I'll divide that up a little bit more since those are short clips. I'll get my razor tool, click here, go back to my selection tool, click here to select it and move it over. So I'll move this over some more. Go back to my other one and let's just play. Yeah, keep going. Looks like they're standing around doing nothing for a second. What just happened? He just disappeared. That's kind of cool how he just enters the screen there. So I'll go right before he enters the screen, set my end point, and I'll play. That's awesome. That kind of worked out. So I'll hit my out point, and that's what I want. And I'll just drag that down, double click. So this is kind of a pain in the butt if you're going to be rotating this over and over again. I could do it a different way, which is, whoops, go back, double click on that. I could get the whole thing, or drag this down over here, double click on it, rotate the whole thing. Dirty garage. Interesting. So I can see exactly, I've already edited that part, I've already got it. Already got that. Already got all this. Did I? Oh. Oh, there's more. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, there's more. Okay, so drag it out till it won't drag out anymore. And so we can go through that pretty easily like this. I find it easier to do it here, even though it's upside down. I find it easier to do it that way. So I'm going to delete this, make sure that's only selected. Go back, double click on that file, and scooch around, scrub around, I guess, until I see something visually interesting. So I might set my endpoint just to keep it there. So we're moving. She's got it in her hand now, so it's very shaky. That was kind of cool. So I've already set my in point for that. Set my out point, drag it down, double click. Now you won't have to do this rotation unless you have filmed something upside down. So we have lots of clips together, so let's just watch them all. I think I want to shorten this. Anyway, so I'm just going to drag that backward. Select all of those by dragging, clicking and dragging around it, so they're all selected. They all have a highlight around them, and drag them over here and it should snap. Now when you know that it's right next to it, notice a few things. I haven't let go of the mouse. Along the edge there's an arrow. In the timeline view I can see there's the screen got smaller and it's showing time code, and that means it's snapping right to the edge of it. So there shouldn't be like a little black spot in between. It should go right from video to video. So let's watch it from start. Of course, remember the audio is horrible. We're going to be getting rid of that. Okay, so then it goes to black screen. I can stop it. Now I'm going to turn off that audio and I'm going to bring in, I'm going to import some music. So I'll go down to music and let's, I'm just going to pick whatever, it doesn't matter. A-Punk's fine. Because I don't know exactly what music I want to use yet. So it's here in my project files. Drag it right on down. So now that we've turned off the audio, this audio track is on. Start it over and hit the space bar to play. Okay, so we're not going to watch that whole thing again. So as you can see, it looks a lot better just because the audio is different. It looks better because it sounds better. Now, what would make it look even more better, if that's even a term that's correct English, which it isn't, and I'm going to use it anyway, is to sync up the breaks between the video and the beats in the audio, or the movement of the music with the video. So how I do it is I get close to the edge of this. If I feel like that's going on too long, I might shorten it a little bit. So I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to hit the space bar when I want it to switch. So right there I hit the space bar, and it's close to the end of that anyway, but that's where the guy starts singing. So I'm going to shorten that. I'm going to select these and move them over. So we'll watch it again just to make sure it looks good. And that one naturally broke well. And again, it's about to hit the beat, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit on that. So I want just this one selected and shrink it. Select these, move them over where they snap. So let's watch it again. So right there it's going to break the music again. So if you want to keep a flow going, keep it round about the same beat time. And we'll watch that section again. So as you go through, the video might be a little shorter than I intended it to be, but I still am keeping what I want to keep. Now, I'm typically cutting off on the ends, but you can move the video up a track and cut off the beginning if you need to, or shorten the beginning, or shorten a little bit at the beginning, shorten a little bit at the end, whatever you need to make it fit. But when you do the listen with the space bar, so hit space bar to play, and I want to hit the space bar to make it stop exactly on the beat. So if you're good at hearing the beat, that's very helpful. I'm going to Command Z until it's back to where it was. You can undo. That's Command Z is undo. So from here, let's zoom out, bring this video over. Come on. And we'll watch just this end section. So it might be this might be shorter, or I don't know, we'll see. We'll zoom in just a little bit on that so we can watch it. So spacebar to play. And right there, I know the beat is moving, and I'm going to move this over. Back to her again, so let's watch that. So as that music changed right there, that's when the video changes. Watch it again. And I've been practicing doing this, so over time it'll get better. You can back it up, listen to it again. And then there I would cut it. Since I want to keep all that video and I don't want to scoot down to shrink it, I'll get my razor tool again, click, and move this out of the way. And then we'll add a little bit more something in there. Let's see what else is going on. Anything interesting? Yeah, he got a little bit close there. So maybe I'll get there, hit play. Just a little clip, maybe a little bit longer. So just giving myself enough space, and that almost looks identical to the size or the length of that. It's not quite, it's a little bit longer, which works because that way we can trim it a little bit. You always want to have a little bit more, so as you're filming, know that. You always want to have a little bit more at the beginning, a little bit more at the end in case you need to trim it down or in case you don't have enough. So let's watch this from here. It's upside down still. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it because I wanted to trim it there. Double click, effect controls, motion, rotation 180. Let's watch it again. Oh. So he was about to start singing again. break right there. And I am anticipating it because I'm thinking beat, 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 and then I hit the space bar in the next beat. Like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, beat. So if you're a millisecond off, it's no big deal, but I was pretty dang close. You're not going to get it perfect, 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 perfect every time, but visually it'll look close enough. So if you are having trouble, think about just the beat of the music. Beat, 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 and so hit the space bar when you're ready to get it to go to the next one. So if I wanted to stop it there, I could stop it there on that beat. Let's see what else we got. Got a whole lot of road and sky. This might be better. A little bit closer. Okay, start it there, play. Oh, we're getting a sun flare. Sun flare. Oh, that was cool. So I'm going to stop it there and scoot back a little bit to there. See how much that, that's more than I need. Much, much more. I want to get that jump right there. So I'll give myself maybe that much space. Move it back. Might need a little bit more. Oh, that was almost identical. Let's listen to it again. And beat. Yep, that was right on it. Okay, so double click. Motion, rotation, 180. And let's watch it up, right side up again. Yeah. Okay, so that wraps up this. So we have the razor tool for cutting. You can also stretch it out if there's more video to do. You can also do the set in, set out, and we still have a lot more video to go through. But all right, we're done with this one, so let's move on.